So what would happen if the Federal Reserve begins to actually start cutting interest rates? What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Talk About Solutions. Let's go ahead and dive right into this. So if you don't understand the impacts of rate cuts, I hope that by the end of this video, you have a little bit of a better understanding. If you have any questions after, just feel free to comment down below. And again, I hope that you learned something new. And if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing if you feel like we earned it. So the thing that I quickly want to highlight is what would happen? I asked ChatGPT very quickly, is what happens if the Federal Reserve begins to cut interest rates? For those that do not know, what's the whole point of cutting, pausing, or raising interest rates? So it's the idea is that the Federal Reserve, which is the central bank, not supposed to be influenced by the president or any other form of politician or institution. It's that they act as their own. They're nonpartisan, and they really just focus on monetary policy. Any major successful country has some form of like central bank to some degree, right? The European Union has one. Japan has one. South Korea has one. You can feel free to look it up. Every different country likes to do things somewhat differently, but the whole idea is that the Federal Reserve had a target of 2% inflation. As of right now, we sit at 2.4%, based off of one of the most recent CPI data reports. But based off of our core CPI, if I'm not mistaken, core CPI, which is all items less food and energy, we are at 2.8%. So again, we're at 2.8% for core CPI. We want to be at 2%. We're not there yet, right? So when you hear the argument of we're already at 2%, or they try to focus on another measure of inflation that's not actually the CPI or the PCE report, it's just they're trying to point the finger at any data that is more favorable for their narrative, right? The Federal Reserve likes to focus on data, and it's not data that the Federal Reserve provides for us. This is from, and feel free to look it up, it's the official website of the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, right? It's its own entity, but this is a report that the Federal Reserve pays attention to. And the next report's actually going to be on Tuesday, 1 hour before the market opens. I actually plan to live stream it for free on my YouTube channel, so just another reason to subscribe if you haven't done so already. But the reason that they've been hesitant to cut interest rates is that there's a common misconception right now, because Trump continues to say, oh, well, he cut interest rates last year right before I took office, but now he won't, right? And we're at the same inflation. Yes, but the different type of, I would say, condition and environment, if you really think about it, geopolitically, is Trump started to announce a ton of tariffs, more tariffs than we've ever seen before. I'm not against these tariffs, right? Trump ran on the campaign of, wanting to implement tariffs in response to getting rid of the federal income tax. Now, we've seen the tariffs, but there's been no talk about actually getting rid of the federal income tax. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. Nonetheless, tariffs were announced. They were then paused, and now they're being brought back. As of right now, these are the most recent updates. It was actually just a few hours ago that it was announced that he's also going to be slapping Canada and Mexico. 35% for Canada and Mexico with 30% tariffs. And I want to give credit where it's due, because there's no reason to just talk about the bad and not the good. I feel like everyone always just likes to talk about the good. I always like to talk about both sides. I like to approach this in a very level-headed way, but I always do highlight risk. That is mainly my main focus here on the channel, because while everyone else is encouraging you to buy, I like to talk about the risk so you're aware of both sides. So please understand that my tone is not because I'm trying to convince you not to do something. I'm just trying to make you aware of the risk. With that being said, tariff revenue is at levels that, yes, we have not seen before. The U.S. is making billions of dollars of money off of these tariffs. But the whole reason that the Federal Reserve, just a few months ago was okay with cutting rates when we were at 2.4%, and based off of our most recent reading for overall CPI, we're at 2.4%. Trump continues to say, what the heck, Jerome Powell, you just don't like me. Too late, pal, right? You just don't like me. 2.4%. A few months ago, we're at 2.4%, and you openly cut rates. You just don't like me. That's why you're not cutting rates. You need to be removed. But it's different, right? So the Federal Reserve is trying to put out this fire of inflation. At one point, it was 9.1%, because like you guys know, the Federal Reserve was printing money, right? Like we've never seen before. All these stimmy checks that everyone was getting and created this short-lived rally, then led to a quick little correction for all markets, not just the stock market, but also the real estate market. Now, when you understand why he is being a little bit more cautious, and it's not just Jerome Powell, it's an entire committee, right? The FOMC committee. They collectively meet on a monthly basis and they decide, hey, based off of recent economic data, does data support that we should cut rates? The idea of cutting rates comes from based off of what Jerome Powell said is data dependent. This tone has not changed. It hasn't changed from when Biden was in office, and it has not changed as Trump has retaken office. And for those that don't know, Jerome Powell was actually initially nominated by Trump back in 2017. So he was actually appointed by Trump. But right now, there's the bias of, well, you're not cutting rates, it's just because you don't like me. Well, no, he's just being extra cautious because this fire that he's trying to put out of inflation is still at 2.4% for overall CPI, 2.8% for core CPI, and their target was 2%. So they very simply are not at their target. 2% has been their long run goal from the very beginning, from 9.1%. You can look back 4 years ago, 5 years ago. That idea, that concept has never changed. You don't have to agree with it. You can disagree with it, but you can't say that his tone changed. As Trump began to announce these tariffs are known to be inflationary because, again, although Trump and part of his administration state that tariffs are not inflationary, it's not the consumer that pays for it. It's not rocket science. Where do you think the $300 billion in revenue is coming from? You think the exporters from other countries are paying that? No. I mean, even myself, I'm just testing samples. I picked up and bought a few things from China and from a series of other countries overseas as I'm testing different products of things that I might want to bulk order. And I get slapped with a tariff every time that I go pick it up. $25 here, $65 there. And they will not allow me to take my package unless I pay that tariff. Now think about it for businesses. Tens of thousands, millions of dollars, billions of dollars. Where do you think that money's coming from? And the reason I'm saying this is because, well, this is going to eventually get tracked in our CPI data report. That's the thing that people don't understand is that inflation reports are a lagging indicator. And Jerome Powell has been very open about that. That's why sometimes it does look like they might be late because by the time it reflects on the reports, it's a report from the previous month and something that has been in the works already. But they are data dependent. They would rather be late than to be early and to re-spark inflation. Because again, what would happen if the Federal Reserve begins to cut rates? Borrowing becomes cheaper. When the Federal Reserve lowers rates, they make it cheaper for you and I to borrow money. And when you go through banks to take out a mortgage, anything, businesses can borrow at lower rates. But most importantly for the US, and the reason Trump is so outspoken about this is that the US has $9 trillion they want to refinance, that they need to refinance. And I think their current rate is right around 3%. That is going to expire and need to be refinanced by the end of the year. And they don't want to do it at 4.5%, 5%. Who wants to refinance at a higher rate, right? None of us do. Nonetheless, we have to respect that because of these tariffs, it put our economy in a condition, in an environment that we have to be more cautious, that the Federal Reserve has to be more cautious because imagine this. This is the concern from the Federal Reserve. If inflation is not under control, they begin to cut interest rates, which cutting interest rates tends to encourage consumers and businesses to borrow and spend more because Americans love to borrow cheap money. It's a, I would say, unhealthy habit, not necessarily for businesses if you know how to leverage it, appropriately, but it's what Americans are known for, right? Credit card debt's always incredibly high. Anytime interest is very low, it's cheap money. Let's just spend more, right? Okay. So by them spending more, just like we saw back in 2021, what happened to housing prices? It went from a buyer's market to a seller's market. Prices went through the roof. Numerous properties were going above ask. It was super competitive, right? What happened to car prices? Everything began to skyrocket. Again, demand becomes so high for goods because consumers are more willing to spend when costs are low. This is the issue. When you begin to cut rates, it will begin to, in the long term, be inflationary. This is why in 2021 to 2022, we saw inflation uptick to 9.1%. I think at that point, it was at like a 40-year high. Inflation was at 9.1%, but it's because we printed so much money. We had such cheap rates. People were spending so much money. There was so much demand that, again, price levels for everything became so expensive. That got tracked in our inflation report. And then that's when the Federal Reserve had to start raising interest rates so people begin to spend less money to try to bring down inflation. And that's the concern, is that if they begin to cut interest rates too soon, not only is cutting interest rates inflationary, but now if you have on top of that tariffs that are inflationary and also driving up prices because importers now have to pay a tariff, a tax to import their goods, and then they pass down that tax to their consumers. Now you have inflation from lower rates going up, and now you have inflation from tariffs beginning to go up. So now it's a double whammy. So would cutting interest rates from the Federal Reserve be positive potentially for the stock market? Yes. I mean, let's just look back to 2021. I mean, it would be naive to say that it wouldn't. Let me look at the week chart just so we could see the retracement. So in 2021, we saw this slight downturn. This was during the pandemic from early 2020. We saw a really nice retracement. And then all of a sudden, we went on this huge uptick. Things began to recover. The U.S. began to print money. We went on this huge rally. But then again, things became too elevated. Inflation became incredibly high. Markets began to downturn. We saw the same thing when it came down to the real estate market and overall economies, right? We retraced back down. So our previous highs now became new lows. But that's the thing that I want you to understand, is that by cutting rates, if they do it the right way, can it be inflationary? Of course. But yes, naturally, it encourages businesses to spend more money. It encourages consumers to spend more money, therefore boosting our economy. So would it be good for the stock market? Historically speaking, according to ChatGPT, yes. It tends to often cause rallies. Now, let me also make this very easy to understand. If they begin to cut rates because they remove Jerome Powell, in my opinion, that would be a concern for overall markets. The reason why is in the manner in which it's done. If Jerome Powell and his current committee decide to cut rates because data supports it, yes, I do think that markets can rally to new highs. If it is understood that they begin to cut rates because they were able to remove and encourage Jerome Powell to resign, which is a common kind of like conspiracy kind of going on right now, which I don't believe is true, but let's say it is true. I think that would be bearish for the market because the Federal Reserve is supposed to be nonpartisan. They're supposed to be independent, not influenced or controlled by any president of what they want just because they want it. So if it is now understood that the president can control who is in charge of the Federal Reserve and what they do, in my opinion, just my opinion, I think that would be bearish for the market because markets would be experiencing for one of the first times of like, whoa, this is something that should not and has not happened before, where the president is not supposed to be able to control the Federal Reserve. That is the whole point of the central bank being nonpartisan and independent. Just my 2 cents, right? But yes, markets tend to rally. Bond prices begin to rise and yields begin to fall. Real estate may heat up. Right now, a lot of you guys know, if you've paid attention to the real estate market, it's a buyer's market, right? If sellers are sitting on market for a little bit longer, interest rates are high, it's not very enticing to want to buy a home when interest rates are high. And trust me, I get that. I'm not here to say that I want higher rates. Of course, who doesn't want 3% mortgages? Who doesn't want 2% car loans? That's not the point. The point is that there are these different departments that have milestones that they were working towards to then justify their actions. To now have a president to want to influence what it is their original plan for his own gain, in my opinion, is wrong. There's been many things that I've agreed with when it comes down to Trump. But again, this is why there are different roles in our government, and it's to separate power. And I think it would be very bad for the American people and our markets if it is to be understood that the president now has influence and control of our central bank. And I think that most markets and economists would see it as just that. But yes, by cutting rates, historically speaking, it does spark rallies. So although markets are very overbought, and I've talked to some of my close friends about this, if the Federal Reserve does begin to cut rates because data supports it, that it could be very bullish for the market. So we'll see on Tuesday. There's a CPI data report, like I said, 1 hour before the market opens, and we'll see. I mean, I wanted to make a detailed video in expressing why I believe inflation is going to go up, not necessarily just because of the tariffs, but because of how inflation is calculated and based off of last year in the month of June and this year in the month of June that's about to be reported and the way that it's bound to uptick. So I'm very excited to follow up. If you guys want me to make that video, just feel free to comment down below. And again, I trade live every single morning for our LPP team. If you ever want to tune on in for my live trading session, it's designed for complete beginners. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and it's the second link in the description down below. I appreciate your time, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.